Call this special meeting of Smith County Emergency Services District 2 to order at 6 p.m. Certify there is a quorum present with all board members present. And at this time, we'll have a prayer and pledge of allegiance to the United States and the Texas flag. Mr. Donald, if you will, prayer for us.
Our Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to praise and worship all the things that you do for us, Lord, but also to ask you to give us guidance and lead us with knowledge as we go through the evening. Lord, we pray that you would be with all those that aren't able to attend with us today, those that are in need. I ask all these things in your name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
All right, item 3, recognition of guests and special presentations. Just about the only one we see is Jim back there from Christus, and everybody else looks like normal folks. So.
That's a compliment.
Item number 4, do we have anybody signed up for public comment? Okay. Having none, we'll move on to number 5, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on adopting the proposed 2022-2023 budget. Smith County ESD budget summary is here. You guys need to look at it. I don't know if you have it to put up on the board or not.
Give me with that, you want to just give you a brief overview of what's in the budget? Okay. So the 2022-23 proposed budget of property tax revenue is estimated at about $6.5 million. Investment revenue at about $253,000. Other revenues about $244,000. That's some of that assistance and insurance stuff that we collect from, and then the sales tax revenue is projected at $12.8 million. Total revenues of about $19.823 million. And the expenditures, looking right now, total expenditures about $19.704. I'm not going to go down through each line item as far as breakdown, but I will just give you an oversight of some of the things that are in this year's budget. In addition, just keeping pace with all the growth that we have in the county and the expenditures we have as far as general operating expense, everything, which we all see that looking at the potential addition of 22 firefighters, full-time firefighters, that'd be gradually phased in over the course of the entire year. Then looking about $2.2 million towards new construction of fire stations and the renovation of fire stations, about $2.1 million towards purchase of new firefighting apparatus, a cost of living allowance for personnel in the district, as well as co-payment towards health insurance premiums for dependent care.
I heard the summary of the budget. Any comment?
In this particular case, it will take a roll call to go through, and I have a copy of the resolution.
Yeah, I've got it.
You got it there as well?
I've got it right here.
Okay.
Right. Anyway. So I guess we need to read the resolution and then we can vote on that. Anyway, resolution adopting the 2022-2023 $19,704,538 budget for the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2 of Smith County, Texas. Whereas it was necessary to set and adopt a budget for 2022-2023 in order to allow the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2 to carry out its purposes, objectives, maintenance, and operations. And whereas this resolution provides the budget guidelines for the 2022-2023 fiscal year, and whereas the Board of Commissioners gave notice of the date and time and place of the meeting in which we vote on the budget for 2022-2023 for the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2 in accordance with law and after all requirements for consideration and adoption of a budget had been met, the Board of Commissioners did hold such a meeting to vote on the budget for 2022-2023. Now therefore be it ordained and ordered by the Board of Commissioners of the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2. That we, the Board of Commissioners of Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2, Smith County, Texas, do hereby adopt budget for fiscal year 2022-2023 totaling $19,704,538, a copy of which is attached hereunto. A copy of this resolution is ordered to be attached to the official minutes of the meeting September 12, 2022. I need to read the rest of it, Mike? Or have left of it? Okay, good. All right, you've heard the resolution. Have a motion to approve the budget.
I'll make the motion to approve the budget for $19,704,538,000.
Have a motion by Commissioner Domney to approve the 2022-2023 budget of $19,704,538.
I'll second.
Have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a roll call vote. Commissioner Domney?
Yay.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yay.
Commissioner McKeithen?
Yay.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yay.
And I vote yea also, and the resolution passes. And also, I believe that I have to sign the resolution. So,
And
there's
there's
two.
there's a.
I have two
copy there
also.
for us to sign.
Okay, all right. All right.
Do you want to do that now, or should we wait till afterwards?
Look what the left was.
We'll just wait later. Okay. Number 6, discuss, consider, and take any action on adopting the proposed tax rate, property tax rate. Notice a meeting on the tax rate, which we had last week, and proposed rate was 0.072065 per hundred. A new no tax revenue rate is 0.06436 per hundred, and voter approval rate is 0.080210 per hundred. So, whatever you,
I will make a motion that we approve the no new revenue rate of 0.060436 per 100.
okay, I have a motion by Commissioner McKeith, and we'll go with a no new tax revenue rate of 0.060436 $100 valuation, and a second by Commissioner Wilson. Is there any other discussion?
Well, I will make note that by adopting the no new revenue rate, that we just read off as far as the budget revenues is not going to be met, because it will reduce the revenue projection for the county at this time, not only of about $800,000. So by adopting a no new revenue rate, then we're underfunding our budget that we just adopted.
Is there any other discussion? All right, if not, I'll call for a roll call vote. Commissioner Domney?
Let me give it a little bit more consideration before you call me to vote.
Okay.
And this means that we're going to have to monitor our expenditures extremely close this year to essentially underrun what we're currently forecasting our budget. And so, that being known, we all have to make a conscious effort to not spend everything that we've just approved in our budget. That means we're gonna have to make cuts. So, and I personally think that we should have, had a discussion about the budget before we actually had a discussion, before we actually decided to underfund it.
It seems backwards, the way we voted on it, I agree.
Well, at least if we were going to propose a no new revenue rate, we at least should have said that the budget that we were voting on was gonna be potentially underfunded. Even though I don't necessarily agree with the method in which it's been done, I'm also going to support the rest of this organization, and I'll vote yea.
All right. Commissioner Wilson?
Yay.
Commissioner Keithen?
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yay.
And I will also say that I'll support everything too that we need to do, and we'll make it work, whatever it takes. And I also vote yea. So we'll go with a no new tax review rate of 0.6, whatever it was up there.
0.60436 per hundred.
Yeah, per 100. So, anyway, which that means we should bring in the same amount of revenue we brought in last year. So, but we may get more revenue too, because it can go either way. Sales tax can go up or it can go down. So we'll just have to do that. So, anyway, moving on, item number 7. Discuss, consider, and take any necessary action related to the payment of accounts, bills, invoices, payroll requests for reimbursement, requests for other payments, transfer of funds, and amendments. 7.1 is Anderson Tree Service for Troop Number 3 tree and debris removal. Bison Construction for Red Springs Number 2 bathroom remodel. The second draw on that. And Noonday Fire Department extractor washer reimbursement. Is there any discussion on that? No, I'll entertain a motion to pay our bills.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion by Commissioner Wilson to pay our bills under 7.1. Have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Edwards. Is there any further discussion or question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item number 8, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action to set a time limit for payment of fees for services provided by the district. Who's going to speak on that?
Probably me.
Okay, Mike, that's yours.
When you provide services on scene at a fire or an accident or something, you're entitled to bill for those services. We recently had a situation where there was a motor vehicle accident and ran up about $40,000 worth of fees, and we're in the process of trying to collect for that. But the board is specifically tasked with setting a time limit for once the bill has been issued that it needs to be paid. And I would recommend that time limit as 30 days.
Okay.
So is this for a specific instance, or is this just for, is it ongoing?
No, this is for the general rule, just that specific instance on a prompt basis.
Okay, so we've heard our attorney, Mr. Coker, make a recommendation. We set our payment schedule for 30 days net. Is that right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for payment of bills owed to the district.
I would make a motion that we set the time limit for payment of fees for services to 30 minutes. Or 30 days. My apologies. 30 minutes will work too. 30 days. My apologies.
I have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen that we set the time limit for payment of fees or services offered by the district at 30 days. And I have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Is there any other discussion? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 9, discuss, consider, take any necessary action for supplemental insurance plan approval. You gonna speak on that, Sherry?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Pass these out to you. Sure. This wasn't available when I posted that, so that's why it's coming in this fashion. I got 3 quotes. First of all, I'll back up and tell you what happened. Cigna said at renewal that they were renewing our plans at no increase. And then after open enrollment, they said, oh, well, we're not going to be offering these plans any longer. And so our plans.
Let's get them passed out.
Missing one?
There's one sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll back up, okay.
Now, we got it right there.
We got it? Okay. Cigna had said that they were renewing our plans at no cost increase for this coming year. And after an open enrollment, they came back and said, well, we're not going to be we're not going to be offering this as of October 1st. These plans that we've been in, which is the accidental, the hospitalization, and critical illness. So a result of that, I shopped it, and I got 3 quotes, and the best one that I feel came in is the Hartford. The rates are actually less than our current rates. The first rates there is our current rates under Cigna, and then I've got the Hartford, Colonial Life, and Allstate. And looking at the plans, I feel like we get a better offering through the Hartford as well, and the rates are competitive. So my recommendation is that we go with the Hartford. This is a voluntary employee paid benefit, so it's not a cost to the district.
No cost at all, no administrative cost or anything?
No,
Okay.
other than me.
Other than you? Okay.
Okay.
And they are comparable plans?
Yes, yes, they're comparable.
Just depends on which plan they want to take?
Yes, they offer 3 plans in each group. So,
There's as close as you're probably gonna get. Cigna's a little more on some things, but.
yeah, some of them more, some are a little less.
Right.
But I felt it was the best. Of course, I've got the plans in detail. If you want to look at them in detail, I've got that with me. But I put the rates here for you to see.
It just depends on the individual, what plan they want to take. I don't do it.
Exactly. And then I'll need to have an open enrollment for these 3 plans.
Did they say what the reason for with backing down?
They didn't say, they just said they were doing away with their worksite solution, which is the supplements. I was shocked, and our broker was shocked as well. She had no heads up either.
Okay.
I'll make a motion then that we go with the Hartford for our supplemental insurance.
Vote by Commissioner McKeithen that we go with the Hartford plan for our supplemental insurance plan for accident, critical illness, cancer, medical indemnity, and medical bridge policy.
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Edwards. Is there any other discussion or question? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item 10, discuss, consider any necessary action regarding the noonday Texas Forest Service PPE grant. I think you're going to speak on that, Chief Smith.
Yes, Chief Harper had work tonight. So, Noonday's received a TFS grant for $20,000. It's a 90-10 grant, so 10% match. You'll see that there's a quote there for bunker gear for $25,151.77. So he had to spend $22,260 to get the full $20,000 of the grant. So, we're recommending that, or asking that you approve this. So basically, the district will be out $5,151.77 for 9 sets of bunker gear.
And it's basically more or less the same kind of grant that Flint Gresham got.
Yes.
And we approved there. Well, I make the motion, we approve the total amount of $25,151.77 for the Texas Forest Service grant for Noonday Fire Department.
I'm sorry, on discussion, do we need to put a buffer in there for tax and freight, or?
So tax will be 0, freight will be determined at the time it's shipped, which could be several months from now because it's a backlog.
So we'll just revisit them?
Either that or we can put a buffer in there. I can't tell you what it'll be.
Yeah.
Well, I'll withdraw my motion at this,
Well,
at this moment while we discuss it.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah, sorry,
That's okay.
Brent, what would you say to that? Do you take a stab in the dark, or do you just wait and revisit it later?
So the grant's for 20,000, we have a 10% match. So we should be spending $2,000, but we're being asked to spend $5,000. So,
Or was it 22,000?
So we were gonna have to spend $22,260. And so he's requested,
so why do we have to spend 22,000?
that's the,
Requirements of-
to go over, that's how that works. You have to spend 22 to get the full amount.
Right. So this
You
one-
add the 10% back to the 20.
Yeah, you had, yeah.
Okay. So we're over about $3,000 what we need to spend. Now it's time to start cutting.
Okay, well, can we ask for the 22,260 exact and make, however we need to make it work on the gear side? If it needs to cut a set or some boots or something.
That's what I was, that we approved the minimum required. And my recommendation, what about y'all?
So if we do that though, we're not getting the full effect of the
No,
grant.
we'll get the full grant. We will get the full grant if we do $22,260. We will still get the full grant. He was asking for a couple of things that were, budgeted.
Okay. Is there any reasoning other than just putting them in the cash for extra? I mean, were those assigned to people?
I believe he was gonna have some assigned to people, but I'm sure we can figure it out.
Chief Harper just texted me and said he would handle the freight. Not worried about the
Go
freight.
ahead and look for it.
Okay. But still, are we taking bunker gear off of certified, active people to do this?
That,
Looks like he has two
Yes.
special boots ordered, one for a man and one for a woman, which is a size 14 and a size 8, so those are probably special orders, I guess.
I definitely know that, yeah. I live that life every day.
Or 14. Yeah.
Chief Harper saying yes, that if we don't go with that there'll be one person not get gear.
Off the grant.
Right.
So it's not mean they won't get gear.
Right, yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Then I agree, I think I agree with you, let's, give me the number again for the exact match.
$22,260.
I make a motion, $22,260, for the noonday gear match.
Okay, motion by Commissioner McKeithen to, for $22,200 what? $60 to meet the Texas Forest Service grant match. Have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Dominic. Any other discussion or question? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay. You'll let him know, Chief Smith? 11, discuss, consider taking any action on the purchase of 11 gigahertz antennas to replace 5 gigahertz antennas at Chapel Hill at a cost of $3,558.87. Larry, can you explain that?
I can. So, the Chapel Hill station is currently without internet. We had a 5G antenna that was a used antenna that we repurposed, when we built that tower, so we didn't have to purchase new antennas at that time. During the last, lightning storm that we had, it got hit by lightning. It actually hit the antenna, so the antenna's dead. It's kind of an unusual situation. Most of the time it hits lightning arresters, we can just replace those. Instead of replacing this with a 5 gigahertz antenna, we'd like to replace it with the 11 gigahertz. There's a lot of interference in that area due to a radar array that's close. So this will improve their speeds as well as get them back up and running.
What cost difference between the 5 and 11?
$1,000 total.
1,000.
So was it insured?
It is, but it's below our deductible.
I have $5,000.
The 5 gigahertz antenna was actually not functioning properly because of the interference as well, so it's not feasible that you could replace it with 5.
I don't recommend it. I mean, we'll be suffering a pretty good degradation. So we tried to do it with 5 gigahertz because that's antennas that we had in stock that we pulled off of another tower. So realistically, we need to be replacing all the 5s with 11s as they come up. It's licensed. The 5 gigahertz are unlicensed, so it's a free-for-all. Anybody can buy that frequency and use it. The 11 gigahertz are licensed, and so you're guaranteed no interference.
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 11 gig antenna for $3,558.87.
Have a motion by Commissioner Domney, we approve the purchase of the 11 gigahertz antenna for the amount of $3,558.87. And a second?
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Edwards. Any other discussion or question? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carried. How long will it take you to get it fixed, Larry?
That included overnight shipping, so we should have it by Wednesday. We'll get it up on the tower same day.
All right. 12, discuss and consider taking any necessary action on purchase of T-shirts for Flint Gresham Volunteer Fire Department. Lieutenant Rath?
You should have just one quote in your packet somewhere. I sent it over to Chief Smith. We have been, is it in there? Okay. We have been trying to get quotes from other vendors, completely unsuccessful. I've reached out to Sign Country, I've reached out to Designer Graphics. They won't return, well, Sign Country never returned my calls. Designer Graphics still have not submitted a grant or a quote to me for the t-shirts. And we're running up against the end of the budget year. So we should still have budget in our budget for t-shirts or for uniforms. Last time we purchased t-shirts was about 6 years ago. It was before my time with the fire department. That's how long ago it was. So we're asking for 150 t-shirts to be able to supply our members with new t-shirts and also have a small stock of t-shirts for new members coming in.
Just fall under their $300. Still have money left.
Greg's usually good.
I don't know. I've called them, my wife's called them.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Made the effort. Can't force these people to give you bids. They don't want to. Hear a motion to approve the expenditure for $2,736. I'll make it. A motion by Commissioner Keithan to buy the t-shirts from Flint Gresham for the amount of $2,736 from FR Girls. Have a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Edwards. Any other discussion or question? And this will come out of their $8,300 uniform amount, right? So, all right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Item 13, the board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551071, 551072, and 551074. No action shall be taken while the board is in closed session. Any final action, final decision, or final vote shall be taken after the board reconvenes in open session. Deliberation concerning appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, and responsibilities of individual ESD officers, commissioners, and employees, Government Code 551074. Deliberation regarding real property, Government Code 551072, and consult with attorney to receive the legal advice concerning contemplated legal matter for settlement offer, Government Code 551071. And we are in closed session at 6:30. meeting back to order at 6:42 p.m. Noting there is no action to be taken. This time we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So maybe.
So made, we are adjourned, 6:42.